It's high school lacrosse on MyTV WQMY, presented by the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association.
From the turf field on the campus of Marywood University, it's Wyoming Valley Conference Boys Lacrosse as Delaware Valley takes on Scranton Prep. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, joined tonight topside by Bob Vanderheyden, Coach Van, part of the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association. And Bob, these two teams, no strangers to one another. They met in district final a year ago. Delaware Valley won it 4-3. We expect a similar game tonight.
Well, with a 4-3 score, there was a high defensive game. So hopefully tonight the offense will show up and we'll see a little different outcome.
One of the top face-off guys, plays for the Warriors. He's Anton Mackey. He had a great year last year.
And again, offense starts with the face-off. They can win the face-off, maintain possession, put a lot of points up on the board. Anton had 61% with 12 goals last year. He's going to need to continue that this evening.
One of the top scorers in the Wyoming Valley Conference is back for the Cavaliers, Anthony Astiso.
And Anthony, he also needs to bring his offensive game. He scored the 3 points last year. I'm sure that they've got his number tonight.
65 goals a year ago for Anthony. When we come back, it's the opening face-off and the starting lineups here on MyTV.
High school lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association.
We are back live at Marywood University, getting set for tonight's Wyoming Valley Conference matchup between the Warriors and the Cavaliers. Let's check tonight's starting lineup. Delaware Valley comes in 1-0 with a win over Pine Bush out of New York. The defense looks like this. The two Hamill brothers in the back, sophomore and a senior, and with Rory Matz as well. The midfielders to start, Mackey, Obiso, and Martin. And then up on attack, we have Bacarso, Matarazzo, and Van Wee. The goalie tonight, Bryce Harrelson, 6'4" senior. Goals against average, 3. He had 10 saves against Pine Bush last week. For the Cavaliers, they come in 1-1 overall. It'll be Farrell, Tierney, and Earhart. Very experienced defensive crew for the Cavaliers. The midfielders look like this: Chesnick, Jordan, and Johnson. And on attack, Obiso, Pettinato, and Brunetti will get the start. The goalie is a sophomore, Kyle Riener. Had 17 saves in this year so far. Goals against average, 8.5. He's a transfer for Salisbury School out in Connecticut. His brother was a well-known football player here a couple of years ago. So, Bob, we asked the coaches some keys to the game. Let's go through those.
What's up? All right, up first for Delaware Valley transition game. They have got to make the saves, as we're assuming their defense will be able to do, and bring the ball up to the other end of the field. And with that, they've got to find the right shot location. You can't just bring it up and shoot. You've got to move the ball around, maybe take a little time off the clock, wear down the defense a little bit, and go for some key shot locations.
For Scranton Prep, very similar, I'm sure.
Similar, although what they're looking to do is to limit Delaware Valley in their transition. So we're going to have a transition battle going on here this evening. And Scranton Prep is also looking for those quality possessions. Once again, get the ball, hold the ball, possess the ball, use the ball, score with the ball.
It's pretty simple.
Well, when you say it like that.
Maybe boil it down, right? Delaware Valley has won 5 of the 6 district championships in District 2 since they've taken on Lacrosse. Prep gave them a game last year, again 4-3 the score. In the regular season, Prep lost 12-4, so things tightening up. Very small bench for Scranton Prep, a little bit more numbers on the Delaware Valley side. Anton, one of the best in the league, we highlighted him, gets hit in the back, and it'll be Warrior ball.
Now, for those that are tuning in from the earlier game, tonight's doubleheader, we're now playing high school lacrosse. So some of these rules, there might be minor little changes to rules. We'll try to keep everyone up on what those are. But the earlier game today was D3, college level game. Now we're working with a high school game.
12-minute quarters, still they play 4. They still get 2 timeouts per team. Prep in their 5th season of lacrosse. They play in the Wyoming Valley Conference League, and we'll talk about how the expansion is just growing immensely in boys lacrosse and in women's lacrosse as well in the Scranton Wilkes-Barre District 2 area. We'll be joined by a couple coaches from new programs, and we'll also talk to some people from the Scranton Youth Lacrosse League, who's also been growing exponentially throughout the last couple of seasons.
Well, Bob, in the pregame, we were talking a little bit about the last year when these two teams met up and how much of a defensive game it was. So far, Scranton Prep has done very well with their defensive maneuvers, if you will. Defense making some nice clearing passes with each other. We're able to move the ball up, and now Prep has an offensive opportunity here. Let's see what they do with it. It looks like they're starting off in a 1-3-2 type of a formation. Double team comes in and a triple team.
Our first penalty of the night going against Delaware Valley, it looks like. 32.
Called the slash on that one, I believe. I believe it's a 1-minute penalty. So let's see what Prep does with a man-up situation.
So Prep brings their main attack group in with Greg Fisher, Dan Hinton, and Luke Johnson. Sneeko in there as well. So man-up opportunity, first one of the game for either team.
And Scranton starting off with the wide open circle type of formation here. They're probably going to take a look and see how the defense moves around. Get some cuts through the middle.
Shot, save, Haraldson. That was a Stizo that we talked about in pregame. 5 goals this year already. So Delaware Valley now want to kill off the clock. 30 seconds on the man-up opportunity for Prep. It's going to go over to the Cavaliers. Looking for a quick start.
You also notice another little change here. We've got 2 officials out on the field instead of the 3 that we had in the earlier game today.
But one thing that I know PIAA will tell you throughout the state, they're looking for officials.
Yes.
They need officials, especially at these new sports that are growing throughout the whole state. So if you want to be an official, contact the PIAA, go to PIAA.org, because they're looking for anybody in these sports. No shots yet on the man up, and now we are full strength. Low shot, score, Scranton Prep. That is Luke Johnson, his 2nd goal of the season, and the Cavaliers take a 1-0 lead, 9:23 remaining.
Very nice time and room shot there. As soon as number 24 had the ball, he just kind of lined that shot up, and it looked like it went in the 5-hole. Let's take a look at it here. Number 24, he has all this room. Put the ball right in the back of the net. And one more shot when we take a look at this. Yeah, it looks like it went right down there. You'll notice that our goalie down there for Delaware Valley is rather tall.
Yeah, 6'4".
6'4".
Yep.
So I would bet that Scranton Prep is probably aiming for his feet, or try to get a lot of worm burners in there.
So here's Delaware Valley, District 2 champs from a year ago with a win already over Pine Bush, 14-3. They lost in the state playoffs to Springfield last year, who went on to win the state title 10-5.
Now I noticed Scranton came out and played some pretty aggressive defense, even while Delaware Valley was still rotating some of their players on and off the field. So let's see what kind of a defensive squad we got out here.
There's his Paget, number 7. He's a senior who has the ball. Shot, score, tied up at 1. Whipping it through is number 15 for Delaware Valley, Jimmy Quinn.
And there was Delaware Valley moving the ball around, looking for the opportunity. As we had talked in the keys to the game, shot location was going to be one of the things that they were going to focus on, and let's take a look at it here.
Starts with a ground ball.
Starts with a ground ball, picking up the ground ball, and then lined up a nice sidearm shot. Had to make the goalie move. Unfortunately, just didn't move exactly fast enough.
So Quinn, his first goal, 2017. He had 2 goals last year. He's a junior. Face-off win by Mackey. Mackey with room to run. Picked up by a long stick. Inside. 2 flags come in, hit to the head.
Yep,
so it's going to be a penalty. Looks like on number 22 for Scranton Prep.
I could hear that one all the way from here. We kind of knew that that was going to wind up being a penalty. Number 5 is actually serving the penalty in the box here, yes, for Scranton. You know, even though the players are wearing helmets, still not allowed to hit them in the head.
So Chris Earhart's going to serve the penalty on the long stick. So minute opportunity now for Delaware Valley for the man up. We're tied at 1.
So let's see how they're going to operate their first man-up situation here. Again, moving the ball around. Take a look at the defense. And a nice save. Nice save by the Scranton goalie there.
Yeah, Kyle Riener with the save. Charles Farrell, defensive guy, loses the ball out of bounds, but 30 seconds on the penalty.
Well, I tried running the ball all the way up the field, and you'll find when you're clearing the ball, passing it will get it up the field faster. I think he had a couple of options there, but once you get some pressure, players may tend to hold onto the ball and just try to run through it.
Slow shot.
Bounce off a defender right there.
20 seconds left on the man up. Another shot, save, Riener.
Very good save by Riener.
Martin whipped it in there. Now an opportunity for Prep to kill off this penalty. 9 seconds. Ball's dropped out of bounds. Nope, doesn't go out.
No.
Here we go, little transition. Shot, score, Robert Hudson. Del Val leads.
And that was another low shot. Again, we got some taller goalies here, and those low shots work. The previous shot was actually off stick, right off the goalie's hip, and he made a great save on that. That's one of the harder saves to make. So here comes the shot right here. Looks like shooting right down. Yep, low shot, right under the goalie.
So with that, we'll take a quick timeout. There's a timeout on the field. 2-1 Warriors. Warriors wearing black. They're playing good so far. They lead 2-1. 7:09 left in the first quarter. A lot of action early on. Bob, like to see that.
Yes, we do. You had mentioned how when these two teams met last year, it was a very low-scoring game with a 4-3 score. So 1-2, still in the first quarter. This is looking like the offense showed up this time.
Connor Jordan having a tough time at the face-off for Scranton Prep. Mackey, again, one of the best in the conference, wins that one pretty easily. And another possession now for Delaware Valley. Off the crossbar with a shot is Bacarsel, the freshman. He's the first freshman to start in 8 seasons for Delaware Valley.
Wow.
Number 1.
Number 1. We'll keep our eye
again,
on him.
Quality program for the youth up there in Delaware Valley. Always very good. Push on White, going to be Warrior ball behind the net in the X position. They're going to bring it back out.
Yeah, they'll pull it outside to the side of the box when they have that.
What about Delaware Valley? What kind of offense you see? Kind of a 1-3-2 as well.
Yeah, they're moving it around. There's a lot of movement on the crease that's happening, which is good. They're trying to get some look. What I'm seeing from them is I believe that their offense is going to try to be a little more aggressive, because this Scranton defense seems to be a little bit more of a physical type of a team rather than an athletic come and get him team. There's a lot of sticks coming down, a lot of stick movement on the Scranton defensive team. So I have a feeling that Delaware Valley is thinking if we can use our speed and our athleticism to get around the defensive players, then they're looking to have some success.
All in front of Carcel.
Oh, it was a nice save.
By Monterazzo, and he with a save was Riener.
Delaware Valley was able to keep possession there. Yeah, there's a lot of pushing going from the Scranton Prep defense there. There's a lot of
they're
physical.
They're physical defense. A
Okay.
couple football players in there.
Oh, okay.
But guys that came up playing lacrosse.
Okay.
So yeah, they're going to be very physical. And I think that's what you expect when you get with Scranton Prep, with John Knowles being the coach. Very tough-minded coach, 5th season with the team.
Okay.
He's been together with the team since they started.
Unfortunately, they threw the ball away right there on that clear, unsuccessful. So Delaware Valley still has the ball. Now you mentioned the benches and how large the teams were.
The depth, yeah.
Yeah, the depth of the team. With Delaware Valley having a little more to pull from, they can stay out on the field a little bit longer. You know, the longer that the ball is in the defensive end for Scranton Prep, the more they're going to get worn down. And we've got 5 minutes left in the first quarter here, so that can start to get pretty tiring for a defensive team.
Yeah, the defense doesn't change out a lot here.
No.
And the Prep can't get their shooters in if they don't have the ball. Ground ball.
Now it looks like Scranton came up with the ball.
Yep. Otto has it. He's going to take it back to the X. Let Hinton come in for Prep, and they'll set up the offense.
Now let's see if they try to use a little bit of time here, gets the fresh legs on the field, maybe give their defense a little bit of a rest. Looks like they're set up in a traditional 1-3-2 type of a formation, moving the ball around the outside. Looks like Delaware Valley is playing more man-to-man, but they are definitely giving some space.
Out in front, Brunetti couldn't pull in the pass, but they regained possession on the ground ball.
Prep was looking for a feed right into the crease on that one, and they tried the exact same thing again.
And a flag down.
Got a flag.
I think it's going to go against Delaware Valley. Number 13's running off. That is Paul Ruddy.
Flag 13. Flag 13. 1 minute. Legal body check.
Body check, so a man-up opportunity again now for Scranton Prep.
And with a low-scoring game, they've got to take advantage of each one of these opportunities that comes their way.
Delaware Valley coach Jeff Krozulski, his 10th season. 2015 Wabash Valley Conference Coach of the Year. He's talking to the referees. So a chance now for the Cavaliers to tie this one up.
A little bit of movement, a little bit of crease movement. Scranton's looking to a lot of passes. They're looking for the opportunities there.
Back to Greg Fisher, who goes to the X. Talented sophomore. Brings it out front. Shot off the mark of Stigo. But Prep will gain possession. 31 seconds left on the man up.
There was a nice shot right there. The feed came from the player cutting back from X. Officials blowing the whistle. Okay, we'll get a restart here. The feed came from the guy back at X up top like that. And then it looked like number 44 was, or number 14 was trying to take advantage of the moving defense. Yeah, there's a lot of ball movement here. This is very good.
Shot, score, top shelf. Scranton Prep ties it up. Was that Estigo again, number 10? It looked like it was.
I think it was. Yes. See, and ball movement was key on that possession. They had about 5 passes. They were all very quick. And then when it got to the shooter, he was ready to take it. There's 1, 2 right here. One quick little dodge. And then right over the stick. You see this again. There's the feed. A quick dodge. And then puts it right in the back of the net. There you go.
So the senior, 6th goal of the season ties this one up. 3:10 remaining in the first quarter. Again, Mackey with a big win off the faceoff. That's a huge advantage for any team if you could gain more possessions.
Yes, face-offs are key. The face-off, it's a way to, like you just mentioned, to extend your possession. If you're on a run, you can keep that run going. If the other team just had a run, you can use the, win a face-off or two to kill the other team's run. So, unfortunately.
A turnover.
Unfortunately for Delaware
the
Valley.
Warriors.
Yeah, forced a turnover there, threw the ball out of bounds.
Well, that negates any kind of face-off win.
Yes.
Now Warriors going to be on the ride.
So we'll see how
Prep does a nice job to break that. They get it in. Shot blocked out by Harrelson. Nice job by him. Shot put on by Brunetti right out in front.
You said these two teams, when they met last year, it was in the
District 2 finals.
The finals.
Up at Delaware Valley.
And seeing how they're playing against each other here today, I can see why.
Yeah.
Like they are, maybe a few little mistakes, but they are working together as a team on both ends, and they are playing pretty aggressive lacrosse with each other.
Nice crowd on hand here at Marywood University, the turf field. If you drive on 81, you drive by once in a while. The lights are on tonight. It's cleared out, a little breezy, but no rain in the forecast. So nice job by that. Greg Fisher trying to dodge, can't get by. The defense inside, shot off the mark.
Just outside
by Johnson.
Just outside a little bit. I'm impressed with the way Scranton Prep is getting these inside passes very quickly, and as soon as the shooter is catching those, they're taking a shot. Like there's no long cradle, no 3 or 4 steps. There's another shot.
Harrelson with a nice save, the senior. So some great activity in net for Delaware Valley this year. Some good experience when you have a senior in there. Now Prep on the ride. Coming up on the minute mark of the first quarter.
And a strong ride by Prep. They're able to get the ball back. See if they can, if they're going to go to the goal or pull it out and set up an offense.
Well, they calls a turnover. Ground ball picked up. Here come the Warriors.
A little more patience probably would have worked in their favor.
Coming up with some speed is Rory Matz, a 6'1" senior defender. Gets it into the offensive zone, and we have 45 seconds left.
Two for the first quarter. This is some great lacrosse that we're seeing here today. Earlier game, really good battle between Marywood and Susquehanna, a D3 college level game, and now Scranton Prep and Delaware Valley. Another great matchup. We've seen a lot of tie scores up on that scoreboard today.
Yeah, we have. It's been very entertaining. Coming up on 10 seconds. Delaware Valley going to hold for the last second shot. Get it inside. Goes wide of Riener. Great shot by Trevor Martin. 5 seconds on the clock. Here we go, start roll.
Trevor came up for that one thinking that there was a penalty, thinking that he should have gotten a penalty on there.
The freshman's shot by Picarso is off the mark, and that's how we'll end the first quarter. We're tied at 2 at Marywood, headed for quarter number 2. So Wyoming Valley Conference schedule starts tonight between these two teams. Scranton Prep will beat Dallas and then Suffern, and then head to Wyoming area. Wyoming Seminary is back, or I should say first season in the Wyoming Valley Conference, and then at Crestwood. So we're tied at 2 after the first quarter. Bob Ide, Coach Van with me. Very entertaining first quarter, Bob.
Yes, it is. Again, when you have these tied games and low score, it shows for good lacrosse, and we've got 2 quality teams here playing against each other. A very good matchup. Let's see what happens on this face-off.
Mackey has owned most of the face-offs against Jordan. Jordan's just a sophomore, better job on that. White ball.
Now what happened
prep.
there, yeah, Delaware Valley stepped out of the restraining line before the officials called possession, so then that would be considered an offside, so that's why the ball was turned over to Scranton Prep. Those blue lines, the attack and the defensive players need to stay behind those blue lines until the referees call possession on a face-off situation, so that's what happened. That's what happened right there.
So Prep with an opportunity. Turnover, Scranton Prep. Harrelson brings it out. Still time. He can hold it onto it for as long as he can. Is there a 20? Is there a 10-20?
Again, we're you know, the earlier game was a D3 college level. They can't just hold it all day, but they do have to get it over. I believe they got to get it over the midfield line.
10 seconds to midfield and 20 seconds into the box.
Exactly. So they do have to keep the ball moving, and that's why those are thrown into the game there. And there's another one of those quick little inside passes from Prep. Oh, just a little miscommunication on that one.
Yep. So it goes out of bounds over to Delaware Valley. Our first guest of the night joins us right now. Couple new programs starting up in Lacrosse and up at Lakeland High School. They're bringing it in for the first year. And assistant coach Greg Copa joins us here, topside. As well, let's see if we can take a shot. Reeder with the nice save.
Yeah, it was a good save.
And still a ground ball opportunity. Prep picks it up.
And they're going. Scranton's able to get a transition there.
Get to Greg in a second.
And again, another miscommunication. One of the Prep players thought the other one was going to take a shot. He was already running to the end line.
Got to push, and it's going to stay Cavalier ball. So, Greg, explain the process and how long it took you to get Lacrosse, and keep it short. No,
That's right.
Up at Lakeland High School.
Bob, thanks for having me, first of all.
No problem.
You know, it was about a 4-year timetable for us to actually get this program underway, just from education, exposure, getting everybody to understand the sport of lacrosse and the actual benefits for all the students in the community, specifically Lakeland. You know, Lakeland is a predominantly very sports-centric school. You know, we're trying to make a lot of things. There's a good goal right there.
Yeah, Greg
Nice
Fisher.
goal.
Prep takes a 3-2 lead. Nice pass on the backside from Estigo. Let's look at that one again. Bob, again, great passing from the Cavaliers.
Yeah, it's that inside passing that I think is going to wind up working very well for Scranton Prep. There it is, right on the crease. Cutter coming right down, timing. When it happens and when Scranton has been able to put it together, they've been able to put points up on the board, and that's a good thing for them.
So you have an all-conference playing in the senior Estigo, and he makes it work there. Here's Mackey trying to set things up for Delaware Valley. Wins the face-off, but a turnover. Here come the Cavaliers back. Prep trying to do some transition. We'll set it up. So, Greg, how many kids have come out, and how's it going so far?
So currently we have a squad of 19. It's going very well. We're about the 4th week in practice or so. Trying to get some field time. Obviously the rain has hindered a lot of that, but we're making do what we can. We have about a handful of kids that have played for a number of years, and they're great leaders on the team, helping out all the new guys and girls get exposure to everything to do with the sport. One of the great things that helped us out was U.S. Lacrosse and the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association. We did apply for their first stick grant, and thankfully we were awarded that, which did help us get off the ground substantially with equipment and gear and a lot of knowledge base and assistance to get the program moving.
Now you're playing a team like Delaware Valley and Scranton Prep, but it doesn't really count for anything. How do they play it until you guys can join the varsity and join the Wyoming Valley Conference?
Sure. So the PIAA basically says that if you don't have a club team feeding your high school program, you're going to start as an exhibition team, so you have an exhibition season. You do play all the same schools that are in the Wyoming Valley Conference. They want to make sure that your program succeeds and it goes into the second and third year and becomes successful. At that time, they will put us on the regular schedule, which predominantly would more likely be next year. In the meantime, it's still same gameplay. They're still counted games, and our actual first game is this Saturday against Tunkhannock at Tunkhannock at 10 a.m.
And some excitement, I'm sure, around that.
Oh, absolutely. The kids are excited. The coaching staff's excited. The school district's excited. It's always nice to add something new. Great opportunities for the kids to add to their resume.
So we'll stay right here with Greg Koba from Lakeland High School, assistant coach for the new lacrosse team up there.
Greg, that's great that the PIAA recognizes that, and with starting on a how do you say that, your first season?
Exhibition level.
Yeah, exhibition level. That was the word.
Level.
Thank you. I got a little tongue-tied there, believe it or not. But that exhibition level, that way, because you mentioned you got a lot of new players, they can get some success and they can build on it, they can get going, rather than just jumping right in the deep end of the pool and having to swim. So.
Absolutely, Bob. And we have two great teams playing here today. Are we at a competitive level as these teams? No, not as of yet. But we're hoping to do that and develop the program so within another year or two, we can compete at this level, and you're going to see some great high-level lacrosse play that these kids are going to be able to be substantially exposed to.
I'll tell you, we had a group of kids out here today in between the today's doubleheader, and from the Scranton Youth Program. And I was talking with all of them, and I asked them, "Hey, do you like to play? Do you have fun?" They have fun practicing and getting better and developing the skills, and that's where it comes down to. Is lacrosse is that kind of a sport where you've got a stick, you've got a ball. Get out on the field, see what you can do with it. You learn how to throw, you learn how to catch, you shoot and dodge and what have you, but you kind of make the game your own. So do you find that's kind of created some excitement amongst your team? Is that they're like, hey, look what I can do?
Definitely. The kids were, very skeptical at first, obviously picking up a cross and then trying to figure out how to catch, throw, pass, do dodge drills, whatnot. But I mean, just the excitement of them actually able to do something. I mean, you have kids that are now coming out to play a sport that may have not done anything in the spring. Maybe they don't play baseball or they don't do track. So they just added something into them to get them moving and experience something that's new. And that's the whole thing for this first year program. We make sure that everyone wants to have fun, enjoy the sport, learn some lacrosse play, and just get out there and have a good time.
I know one of the boys we met in one of a clinic up there is a football player. Shot, score outside. Hinton puts it through. His fourth goal of the season.
Looks like another low shot that just went in right in the 5-hole, I believe. We'll get another look at that, and you'll see. Again, we've got a very tall goalie down there, so I think Scranton Prep is going to be putting most of their shots in on the ground. Right underneath. You know what I noticed about this prep team? Not selfish at all. They're making passes around in there, around in the crease, and they're sharing and they're moving the ball around. That's a great thing. And Greg, you had just mentioned and kind of touched on it a little bit. Some kids that maybe have never played any sport in the spring or fall or winter, whenever, they come out and they try lacrosse, and they get a little bit of success and they get hooked, and they want more and they want more and they want more. Lacrosse has something for everyone, I believe.
Absolutely. The kids, once they pick up that stick, it seems like they don't want to put it down. And our head coach is Mark Kozlowski. He can't be with us today, but he's actually with his family on vacation in Disney. Say hi to the mouse down there, Mark.
Oh,
another
shot,
score.
Another
Scranton
score.
Prep 2 in a row as Tego. They have a 3-goal lead.
And now they just changed it up. Got in really quick, really close on the crease, and were able to put it in right over his shoulder there. Looks like we got a timeout. Yeah, so
3 goals in a row for the Cavaliers. They have a 5-2 lead as we head to the break.
High School Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association.
So here's how the divisions will look in the new Wyoming Valley Conference. Delaware Valley and Scranton Prep are now in the same division, with Crestwood, Dallas, and Wyoming Seminary joins their first year in District 2. In Division 2, Tunkhannock or Pocono, Wyoming area, Coughlin, and Lake Lehman. So Greg, your team will join one of those maybe in the next couple years. Abington Heights will also join in, and maybe pretty soon we'll have a Lackawanna League and kind of a Wyoming Valley Conference and play each other. So
yeah, it's great to see the sport expand. I coached at the Scranton youth level for a number of years, and all these kids and all these schools, along with the Mille Lacs Mountaintop Association, really have developed these students, these young athletes, to develop these programs for every one of their high schools and represent. So it's great to see the sport expansion, and hopefully just continue that on.
So 3 goals in 3 minutes for Scranton Prep. They have a 5-2 lead, Bob. The last goal, 30 seconds between them. Definitely momentum on the Cavaliers side.
Definitely, they've got it, and it's kind of strange to me right now that they're slowing things down right here. However, they do have that, those quick passes in on the crease, which it seemed like they could just pull them out of their pocket whenever they need it. So we'll see how they're going to try and move around the Delaware Valley defense here. Yeah, we're getting a lot of movement right in through the crease. A lot of probably looking for these quick passes, tight feeds. There's a little double team here.
Hinton looking for space, gets it. They'll work it around. Prep has 2 games so far this year. They beat Nazareth 7-6 and lost to a very good Lewisburg team 11-8 just last week. Delaware Valley has 1 game in the books. Pine Bush out of New York, they beat them. Transition for Delaware Valley. Their coaches want a slash. They didn't get the call. Shot wide and high.
That was a very high velocity shot right there. And Scranton lucked out at, I think that there was a shot attempt made, bounced off of someone's helmet. So they were able to slow things down a little bit.
Delaware Valley's not had possession in a while, so they want to work it around here, get a goal back before the half.
Yeah,
at least 1, maybe 2. Van Wee with the ball, works it around. That's the freshman in there.
It looks like Delaware Valley is running a little triangles type of an offense. They seem to have a lot of rotation on one side, on the ball side, while the other 2, I don't know if they're midfielders or a midi in an attack, are looking to find an open lane on the opposite side, off-ball side.
This is Paget, number 7, all district a year ago. Back inside to the freshman, shoots low, and it goes off the mark. And he takes a nice little hit from much bigger Charles Farrell. Farrell, of course, is a defensive tackle and offensive tackle for the Prep Cavalier team. He was listed last year at 6'4", about 300 pounds.
Oh. This is a high school game, right?
Yes,
okay.
Number 30. He's a very good football player, but he came up growing up playing lacrosse.
Well, I remember way back when I was in high school, and we'd play lacrosse.
They had lacrosse back then?
Believe it or not, they did, yes. At the end of the lacrosse season, our head coach would say, go play football, I don't want to see it. And then at the end of the football season, the head coach would say, go play lacrosse, I don't want to see it. So multi-sport athletes, huge. I mean, I think that's great. When you get away from the sport for a little bit, you come back, you cherish it a little more, you look forward to it a little bit more. Plus, playing a different sport might give you a different look, out on the field. Greg, do you find players up in your school district are playing multiple sports, or?
Yes, and we encourage it. On our squad, we have a majority of kids that are athletes. Most of them do play dual sport athletes. So there's a lot of soccer players, football players on the team right now. And they're really excited, and a lot of college coaches look for those dual sport athletes.
Yes.
All right, just because they're more versatile and keeping themselves in shape, and each sport does train for those different specific areas. You know, we talked about before about the program and how we obtained it over the last 4 years. One good thing I want to mention is that the program is fully self-funded. You know, the school district, along with many, are very financially strapped. So there's not one penny coming from that district, and all the parents and the students and different organizations have helped us out fundraise and get us off the ground, including the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association and US Lacrosse.
Okay, so Hinton's going to come out. Looks like number 14. 30, Charles Farrell, the aforementioned. I just talked about him. 1 minute penalty for Scranton Prep. Del Val with a man up.
This one might be a 30-second. I think the official said 30-second. Yeah.
No, 1 minute or 30. They have a minute on the board.
Okay. Well, Greg, that's good to hear that the whole community was coming together, because you know, I've been in and out of the sport of lacrosse over the past.
Oh, deep shot and a score for the Warriors. They get one back. Number 6, Robert Hudson, his second goal of the night.
That looked like it was a nice little rising shot there. I'll take a look on the replay. It looked like he started low and brought it back up high here. Watch for the shot up top. Low, it just came just up over about his shoulder height and stuff. When the ball changes planes like that, it's very hard for the goalie to judge where that ball's coming. So that was a pretty smart shot by that Delaware Valley player there. But that's great to hear that, you know, that the community is coming behind and that's helping you out and helping grow. The lacrosse community is very, it's small, but it's large. There's guys that I knew years ago, and then when I got involved,
inside shot, a little bit low. Trevor Martin, senior.
When I got involved back into lacrosse, wound up hooking up with some people I hadn't talked to in years because they were still involved. And when I go down to the U.S. Lacrosse conventions in January, I'm constantly running into people that I see, and we're sharing ideas, and there's a great sense of community for lacrosse. So that's great that your program is developing right like that from the beginning. That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's a great family environment. You know, not only the community but lacrosse in general. I've experienced it over the years where no matter where you go, someone's always there to help you out. You know, and it's like a big fraternity. Okay?
Yes.
Right.
Now you're one of the smaller schools, I think, when you join, right? I mean, your class is a AA in right now by the PIAA. That's one of the smaller schools that might have it in our area.
Right. We're about 1,500 or so in student populace, kind of comparable to like a Dunmore, for example, right up the road here. But yeah, you know, you're talking a very rural country-ish type area, okay. But there is, you know, we have a lot of accessibility, you know, to the city and whatnot. You know, we also border a lot of districts like Abington, Carbondale, Mountain View, and Valley View. And it's nice to see that some of these other schools are interested. I've been contacted by Mountain View and Valley View actually, and wondering if we're interested in doing a co-op program because they don't have the sport currently. And I said, absolutely. I said, get your parents together, talk to your superintendent, and you know, reach out to our school.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the Swamping Valley Conference matchup between the two teams that made the district final last year. Prep is up 5-3. We're coming up on the 90-second mark. Warriors like to get another goal back and make it a one-goal game going into the break or even tie it. Long shot off the mark. Paget again. He's racking up the shots tonight, number 7. Delaware Valley's not afraid to shoot it, Bob, that we've seen.
Now they'll take it in there. And what I'm seeing from Delaware Valley is a little more shooting from the outside, whereas Scranton was having a little more success, you know, penetrating and getting in close to the crease. Delaware Valley is not afraid to take these time and room shots or these outside shots where.
Well, would you want to go in against number 30 in there? About
No.
a 280-pound kid?
No. And then right there, yep.
Trying to bounce it in by Mack.
Yeah, see, that it was still, even though he got past his defender, he's still kind of on the outside. But Greg, you mentioned, you know, neighboring programs helping out. I mean, that's something I found is kind of, at least in my travels, unique to lacrosse. That hey, I'll help the neighboring school district to develop, because that can only lead to more games for my team. And,
Absolutely.
you know, that's
Absolutely. We have some great neighboring school districts in Lackawanna County here. You know, they're all wonderful kids. They're all competitive, right? So everybody has a very, very huge sense of pride for their district, and we're very happy to see that program get established at Lakeland, and it's just going to add to the pride that the school currently has.
So Delaware Valley wants to set something up. 46 seconds remaining. Greg Kobla from Lakeland High School is here. They're taking on lacrosse this year for the boys level. Any word on the girls lacrosse at all up there?
Well, what we did is we went in as a co-ed team playing boys rules. We had more boys that were interested in the sport than females. And you know, I told the girls, I said, girls, you know, get a good 20 girls together if we can, and by all means, you can start a girls team. So we currently have 19 kids in the roster, and 3 of them are female. And they're very excited to be playing boys rules lacrosse, you know, and they're doing great just like everybody else. We're having a good time, and the kids are learning every single day. They're getting better.
Now, the girls do realize that the rules are drastically different between the two, right? So if you do develop, I would assume that these girls are allowed to play on your boys' team because there is no girls' team.
Correct.
You get
Correct.
more and more girls going, then you're going to have to do a girls' team, then they're going to have to play on
Absolutely.
that. Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And the girls do understand that the contact is different. There's very little or none in the girls program, but you know they're taking it with stride, and they're loving it right now. They're having a good time.
That's great. Well, it's not unheard of. I do know some a couple of women that did play the men's game because there was no women's game where they grew up. So.
And we had that at Scranton Youth Lacrosse for a while. We had a couple girls playing boys, but now that's developed so much where we have almost 35 to 40 girls playing on their own teams.
Right. Just drive the interest, right, Bob?
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. 42 seconds remaining. 2-goal lead for Prep. Delaware Valley trying to cut into that before the break.
So let's see if Delaware Valley put together something specific.
Great dodge right Paget, but he got blocked away by the long stick.
Yeah, the stick got caught just at the last second there. Ball went out of bounds. But again, that was considered a shot because he was trying to shoot at the goal, forward movement, and what have you. So the official called that as a shot.
So they have the freshman in the X rolling out. Lowest shot. 12 seconds left. Interesting that they have the freshman running out the X, Bob.
Well, they might have him running back there. He may have some a really good accuracy on his feeds. Looks to be, I don't know if he's a little smaller, but you know, we were talking a little bit with Greg. There's a place on the lacrosse field for everybody, and maybe that particular player likes to be back there and be the feeder and wants to look for.
Oh! Are they going to allow it? They do.
Looks like right at the
buzzer.
Wow.
Delaware Valley shoots it in, and we have a 1-goal game going in at the half. Great shot from the outside. Went just below the goalkeeper. And they put that in.
Yeah, that was right at the buzzer there.
So on that, we'll take a break. Coming up at the half, we'll talk about Scranton Youth Lacrosse. We'll talk about the youth clinic. And then we'll be back with some highlights. 5-4 Prep over Delaware Valley.
High school lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association.
We are back on the campus of Marywood University. 5-4 the score. It's Scranton Prep over Delaware Valley. Bob Vanderheyden. Very windy here at Marywood, as it always is. We're up on a hill a little bit, and you might be able to hear that in our microphones. So, good first half, Bob. Great first half. But before we even got this game started, we had a college game, first of all, and you ran a youth clinic in between with some youth members from the Scranton Youth Lacrosse Association.
Yes, as we were just talking with Greg there, it's great to see the sport growing and growing and growing, all the different places around in this area. And so here's a bunch of them out on the field now. A lot of these little guys, we were running some different drills, some different dodging drills, little passing, some shooting. It's always great to see the next generation coming up, and I love working with the younger kids because it's to them it's new. It's a let me try this and see, can I do it? Yes, I can. Hey, that was great. Give me something else to do. Great group of kids that you got here. They were all smiles, all fun. There, you dropped the ball, but keep going, keep going. Yeah. Now, what age groups were these? These were some from the Scranton youth group. So.
Yeah, that's the 3rd and 4th grade team and the 5th and 6th grade team. And now we're joined by Greg Fisher from the Scranton Youth Lacrosse Association. And Greg, we talked about the growth. We had Lakeland coach here. How about the growth of the Scranton Youth League?
Well, the Scranton Youth League continues to have a lot of success. I think this year our numbers are about 140, 145 between boys and girls, which continues to grow every year. So we're very fortunate that the sport continues to do well. And even with all of the other clubs that are recreational teams that are playing, we're having success. They're having success. They're coached well, and the kids are having a great time.
How about on the girls' level? I think only last couple of years that we've added the third, 4th grade level, and the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th girls.
Yep, this is our 2nd year with the girls teams, and their numbers are exploding at a much higher rate than the boys are. So it's a wonderful thing to see, and the girls are having a wonderful time playing. They're getting some good coaching, so it's all going very well.
How much has do you think the involvement and the growth been affected now that Abington Heights has it, Scranton Prep has it, North Pocono has lacrosse on the boys' side, and now Lakeland?
Well, anytime that kids watch the game, they just immediately fall in love with it. We had a parent come up to me this evening and said, "My son wants to play." He said he's watching it and he wants to sign up. Where can we do that? And so I gave him the information, and the more kids we have, the better off we are.
ScrantonLacrosse.com is the website, and we've talked about that all the time. We see kids, and they say, "You guys have lacrosse? Where's that at?"
Right.
And that's not uncommon. Yeah, it's in the area, and it's really grown over since you started with this league a while ago, right? How long has this youth league been involved?
Oh,
10 years, 12 years, something like that.
I think maybe 9 years. It's been. It seems like yesterday, but it seems like a lifetime ago.
How have you seen it grow?
Well, it's been a consistent growth. The one thing that we have on a regular basis is the number of kids that come back year after year. Our retention rates are wonderful, which has a lot to do with the coaches and the parents and the interaction with the boys and the girls, and they just keep coming back because they want to keep playing, and so it's been very, very, very positive.
That's great. It's great when they want to come back.
That's the key.
Yeah, I mean, if kids, you put a stick in a kid's hand and you take them out in like backyard or park or wherever. Oh, and they try it. Hey, that's great. But when they get involved with a program like yours, and they're able to play games against other teams, and they can compete, and they can achieve some kind of success, they want more of that.
Absolutely, they always want more. There's a constant stream of kids in my backyard shooting on the goal from the neighborhood, and it's wonderful to see. There's a number of players here on the Scranton Prep team who started in Scranton Youth Lacrosse years ago, and it's nice to see them playing, at the high school level, and it's some of our kids now are even playing in college, so it's a great thing to see.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Greg Fisher joining us. Well, you can either stick around or we can let you go. But Bob and I will come back. We'll have some first half highlights here. 5-4 is the score. Prep over Delaware Valley.
High school lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association.
We are back on the campus of Marywood University. There you see I-81 behind us. We're over on the other side with the blue tarp right there. And some rain is starting here. First time we've seen that in a while. Let's take a look at the first half highlights, though. First quarter. And it was Scranton Prep who took the early lead. Prep Network, good ball movement, Astigo. Good save by Harrelson, I should say. And it was Prep who took the lead as Anthony Astigo put it in. 1-0.
And you see Scranton came
Delaware
out
Valley came back.
Physical, very physical. Scranton is definitely playing a physical defensive game here.
Delaware Valley came back. Reener with the save for Prep, and then Prep took a couple goal lead. Stigo again, his second of the night. In the second quarter, Prep had a nice lead. They worked the ball around inside the Greg Fisher, and it was 5-3 at that point. Should say this makes it 5-3 on that shot right there. And then Delaware Valley came back. Stiegel doing a nice job on the inside. And then Del Valley said, as I said, came back with a couple of goals of their own. That's where we're at, 5-4, and we are getting ready for third quarter action here. Wyoming Valley Conference play. Bob Ide, Coach Van joining us. Last couple quarters now of lacrosse. We've had 4 lacrosse games in 6 days here on MyTV.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And we want to thank the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association for sponsoring tonight's game. And we're going to have a trip against Mackey for Delaware Valley, and it will be prep ball. So that was a tough one for Anton Mackey, the junior, to take because he had won that faceoff, and he's done that most of the night consistently. There's Greg Fisher, number 1, with great speed, bringing it around.
Now let's see if Scranton has changed up their game plan at all here. They were making some tight, quick inside passes. They were pretty successful with it. So now we're making a little personnel change. 23 getting out on the field there. We do have a little bit of rain that's blowing in.
Yeah, a little quick shower here. Like I said, we
had a pretty good day.
Pretty good day.
Overall.
Yeah, we had a nice day because it rained before the college game. Didn't have any rain during anything until right now. So hopefully this doesn't last too long. But as we've seen, lacrosse players will play in snow if they have to.
Yes.
And they have.
I've been with games where they're playing in the snow, and after every official whistle, they had to use their sticks to shovel off the lines.
The wind continues to blow right at us, west to east. Scranton Prep in the white colors with the purple helmets, yellow shorts. New now this season. Delaware Valley in the black with the white lettering, black helmets. Warriors.
And one thing that happens, the weather will affect a lacrosse stick. All that netting, the the string up on the head part of the stick, it can start to sag if it gets too wet. Passes get too hard, and that'll change the throwing motion and your shooting motion especially. So. I mean, this is just a light rain right here, so I don't know if it's going to have a huge factor, but we'll see. If there's a lot of high bounce shots that bounce right over the goal, then it could be attributed to their nets sagging. And that one was right on the mark.
Right on the mark is right, Bob. Shot, score, Pettinato, 4th goal of the year. Last year, the shoulder injury, they're welcoming him back, and he gives them another now 2-goal lead again.
Yeah, that went right exactly where he wanted it to go, right past the goalie, just off stick side. Again, kind of low, like I had mentioned before. It seemed like Scranton is shooting the low side on the Delaware Valley goalie. So that was a little precision shot right there. And if we go back to earlier, our keys of the game, the quality possession, that was a quality possession there. They moved the ball around, they put it exactly in the right person, the right time. Was able to take that shot cleanly and get the ball in. And now Delaware Valley comes up with the ball off the faceoff. So let's see what they're able to do here.
How about they get a goal?
And we've got a back and forth.
Yeah,
back and
Warriors
forth.
goal. Mackey sticks it in. Again, he had 12 goals last year, and he finds the net this time, his first goal of the night.
Looked like this shot was kind of coming from the outside, like I mentioned before, some time and room shots. Yep, as soon as he caught the ball, he just lined that right up. There's the feed. And just lined it right up. Right, looked like it went right in the 5-hole again.
So less than 30 seconds later, Delaware Valley answers Prep's goal. We have a 1-goal game again.
You know, Bob, we've been talking a lot about the different levels of lacrosse, youth lacrosse, high school lacrosse right out here right now. There's a flag on that one. Scranton came in very physical on that. We talked about them having a physical defense. That was right off of the face-off. Yeah, illegal body check.
Prep.
On Scranton, number 23.
Yep, Scranton Prep.
Yeah.
So the penalty goes against Scranton Prep. Cullen Chesnick, 1 minute. So man-up opportunity for DV.
We'll see. We had talked before about how Delaware Valley was liking to take some of these time and room shots from the outside.
Prep had a 5-3 lead at one point in this game, 5-2, excuse me. It's been whittled down to 1, and now turnover on the Warriors on their man up. Now a chance for them to ride, maybe get the ball back. And it goes right out of bounds.
Yeah. But the Prep player stepped out of bounds on that one, so
Luke Johnson got pushed out of bounds a little bit. Still less than a minute to play in this man-up chance for Delaware Valley. Wind's picking up, some
a little
rain
bit
moving in.
We might see the ball on the ground a little bit more now with this weather, and
big hit put on by Scranton Prep. They are definitely playing more physical.
yes, very very physical on that.
So Delaware Valley brings it in, and we apologize for the wind in our mics. Low shot, and it rolls in for a score past Reiner. It does, and we're tied at 6. 8:50 to go in the third quarter.
And once again, we had a nice save, and then goalie just did not possess the ball, and it happened to roll in.
So we're tied at 6, 8:51 left in the third. Here's Mackey straight down, hit from behind, loose ball. Flag comes in late. And it's gonna go against Scranton Prep, so Delaware Valley feeling it on their sidelines.
Yeah, they're looking to get a little run going here. Yeah, cross check on Prep.
Yep, Tucker Johnson, the freshman, is gonna go in for a minute. So another man up chance for DV.
Now this rain will also, I mean, all these sticks, for those that don't know, those sticks out there are all metal. And their gloves, you get a lot of, wow, get a lot of grip when it's dry. But when those sticks start to get wet like this, you start to lose a little grip from your gloves. The netting and the sticks can give a little bit.
Reiner, save, ground ball in front, and it rolls in.
There's a lot of pushing and shoving right there in the crease right before that.
3 goals by Delaware Valley this quarter, and they take a 7-6 lead. That looked like number 6 again, was it? Hudson?
On this one, there's a whole lot of bodies and sticks and feet and everything pushing on the ball.
Oh, 11.
I think it may have been 11.
Yeah.
Just barely picked the ball up and just forced it towards the goal there.
Matarazzo's first goal of the night, sorry.
That's all right. That goalie didn't really have much of a chance. Now we're seeing things get pretty physical here. So,
well, there's no love lost between these two teams. There's a rivalry building over the last couple of years on the lacrosse field. So as Prep takes it in, we'll introduce our another guest, the new coach at Abington Heights. Bill Riff joins us. He's also involved with Scranton Youth Lacrosse. What do you think of the game so far, Coach?
I'll tell you what, Bob. Watching this team really go, the skill set that's out there is really amazing. Just watching some of these kids coming through our programs at Scranton Youth and moving up and just seeing how well they're throwing the ball and playing real well. Tight defense, great ball movement. It's a joy to watch what's going on out here right now. Great skill set at this level, sir. Absolutely.
Talk to us about the process. We talked to the Lakeland assistant coach about the process of getting lacrosse in Abington Heights.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, through our program, it was a long process for us, about 3 years to get through it. But I'll tell you, want to make sure that we had everything that we needed for the school system, and it was able to really produce well for what we could put on the field. Our girls program is absolutely amazing this year. 52 players that came out for it. Becky is doing a great job as the head coach of that program. School board really supports us a lot at this time. Almost 30 kids of mine that came out for the boys program. So real excited right now about what's going on in the Abingtons for lacrosse.
Now you play Delaware Valley tomorrow, I believe, right?
Yes, we do. We absolutely do. So
up there.
Yeah, we're on the road at 5 o'clock tomorrow there at their place. A real technical team right here to watch.
Is that your first game, kind of?
That'll be our very first game of our inaugural season here at the Abingtons. Yep.
Now, are you running? Is your team also have to go through an exhibition season? Like we were just talking with Lakeland, and their season this year for them is an exhibition level.
Yes.
So
yeah, I think for us, we have been approved through PIAA.
You
for
are
us.
approved, okay.
So we're approved, so we count for all the games that we do.
Okay.
We qualify for districts and everything this year for us. So
Gotcha.
we were able to get ourselves in early enough before the season was fully taken on board.
Okay. And you said you have both a boys program and a girls program?
Absolutely. Our girls played last night. They had a really good game against Wyoming area yesterday. Team right through the first half. Just a solid program. And Becky's doing really some great things with the girls.
Couple goals in a row for the Warriors. They've steamed ahead in this one as the wind continues to pick up. Rain has kind of stopped, but things blowing around.
Well, this happens in this portion of the lacrosse season. You know, the one thing I do like about lacrosse season is as you go on, the weather gets better. so your playoffs are in sunny days, and you can enjoy them a little more. And the parents and the fans, we've got a lot over on the other side of the field right now. They can enjoy it too, standing out, playoffs, and it's a nice, almost summer day kind of a thing, as opposed to football that goes the other direction into the snow, which is fine.
Absolutely.
But
I'll tell you what's great about the fans right now is the growth of the sport right now in our area, in the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area that we're growing. Our fans are amazing. They're out here, rain or shine. It doesn't really matter. The little kids all the way up to what we're watching today. It's just a great process to watch. The fans truly, parents bring themselves out here each and every day and bring their kids out. It's a great feeling to watch, and the parent base is growing by leaps and bounds. It's just growing so rapidly out here.
That's great. It's always good to see, the parents take an interest to, be able to support something that their kids are doing.
Fisher shot, high shelf, gets by Harrelson. Prep, Delaware Valley, tied at 7.
And then there was another that kind of switched that shot up. Instead of going low, he went right over the top of his head. So looking for just an open space right above him, was able to sneak it in between goalie's head and the crossbar. Had to fight through that. Yeah, right over top of the goalie there.
Fisher with some nice moves there, holds on to the stick, gets it through.
And you notice he hammed it up for the camera. And you notice that he broke through on that double team. When that double team started coming in, he just kind of took a little bit of a sidestep, got out of the way of it, and was able to be effective.
Big face-off win for Scranton Prep. They've been a rarity tonight. So they get a possession now. They can take a lead. They had a 3-goal lead in this game at one point. But to Delaware Valley's credit, they've battled back, had a 1-goal lead right there. We're only in the third quarter, and we expected a low-scoring game.
Yes, yeah, this is
4-3 in the district final. Not so tonight.
Well, we talked about how that game, it seemed like...
Outside shot. Luke Johnson's second goal of the night.
That one there was a rocket. I think he had the wind at his back on that one.
It might have. Win 8 it, is that what you're saying?
Great left-handed assist by Fisher as well. Really coming right across. Really nice shot.
So that's less than 30 seconds later again.
Yeah, left hand, high to high.
Nice. So you had mentioned a couple of times on the skills. I mean, look at the skill play right here. Right hand, left hand, and then just a rocket shot in there.
Absolutely.
Do you run any kind of skills clinics or plan to help get your team going like in the off season, or do you rely on more of the feeder programs to develop those skills?
Yeah, so we have the feeder programs with Scranton Youth, but Marywood University here will be running a clinic this summer in July for all levels and all ages, boys and girls. And we've been doing clinics in the wintertime, not just us, but many programs around the area that are just really trying to grow the sport of lacrosse. So as you see like that with right hand, left hand, it just really, it's about the boy or girl just really wanting to be better at their skill set and putting themselves in that position to really do what they got to do.
Oh, yes.
Physical play,
Yeah,
and they're going to
play.
call a push
Still on.
against Delaware Valley. It will be prep ball.
We had some of the Scranton youth players out here, that clinic in between the two games here tonight. And I was talking with them, and I had made mention to them, hey, if you guys like playing and you like getting better, go play in the backyard, play at the park, do ground balls in your basement or your garage or something. Don't throw the ball at your garage door. Take your parents off, but
Break windows, and
yeah,
that's happened.
none of that kind of thing. Go find a brick wall in a school or something. But do you see that kind of like community involvement? Are they going over to each other's houses? Are they playing? Are they getting out away from the TV?
Absolutely.
Away from the tablet, away from technology, and pushing themselves, see what they can do, how they can get better?
I'll tell you what, there's probably not a kid right now out on that field from Scranton Prep or Del Val, for both of them, that at some point when they're not being coached and not on the field for a game or a practice, that they're home working on their skill set, passing with their friends, going to a neighbor's house, working right hand, working left hand, just really working on their skills. And if you really want to be a good player at this level, that's what it takes to really get out there. And as you're finding the love of the game really getting bigger and bigger, you don't have to ask these kids to get out there and do it. They're wanting to do it because they see this level of play that we're showing here tonight on television. And I'll tell you, when they see this is what wants them to get better. This is what makes them want to get out there, because when they get the stick in their hand, when you watch it on ESPN or you watch it on college, right, you're watching them do all those funny things with the sticks. Then you come out and you watch some of these high school kids doing it. Well, if they can do it, then I can do it. And then this is what they're working off in the backyard right now.
Yes. Yeah, when I was growing up, it was the Gate brothers out of Syracuse.
Yep.
And they were doing stuff in the backyard, and then they brought it on the field, and they just did it in front of the coach, whether he wanted them to or not. But it was those kind of players. And then the Powell brothers, they came along, that really take the game to the next level, because they're trying stuff in their backyard. And they're like, let me see what happens if I do this in a game. And they do it. They have some success. And then everybody starts going, oh, let's do more of that, and they'll start pushing and that's what I think really drives the growth of the game. That you can take this sport and you can push it yourself, and you can make your style better. I believe like at this age right here, the high school age, is when these players are really starting to recognize their individual styles and maybe how well they work with somebody else. Bob had talked before about a Delaware Valley player who was playing back at X often. That player may like to be that feeding type of player.
Absolutely.
Where he wants to cut around, draw a slide, and then make that precision feed. And for him, that's success. Somebody else might be, I want to catch the ball and make some crazy behind the back or through my legs shot. And for that player, that's success. So that's why I'd love to see the growth of the sport and have kids trying it, getting out from the TV and from the tablet and computers and everything, getting out in the yard, backyard, neighbor's yard, somebody's yard, and just trying. And let's see how.
Well said. Did you write that down or practice that speech?
I rehearsed that about 30 times before I got here today.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about this right now is that you talk about technology these days. So when you really think about, though, you think about Paul Rabel now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Higher, real quality names out there.
Have a penalty, Bill. I think we had too many men on that side of the field for Scranton Prep. So it's going to be a man-up opportunity coming up for DV. Down 1 goal.
Technical foul, 30
Technical,
seconds. Yeah.
yep. So 30-second man upcoming for Scranton Prep.
You talk about Paul Rabel.
Yeah.
You're talking about Paul. I met him at the convention a couple of times. Now that's somebody that's using technology.
Man.
I mean, he's tweeting everything.
YouTube.
Snapchat, YouTube.
You
he's
watch
all,
YouTube. Yeah.
Oh yes.
You watch YouTube. You see some of the things that he's doing. you go ahead and you YouTube just dodges.
Yeah, question mark dodge.
Absolutely. You got a J shot. It shows you everything that you're looking for, whether it's a toe drag or a split dodge or a roll. He shows it all, and that's also using the kids using technology,
Yes.
and then bring that out here and then emulate what they're watching.
Well, that's one of the best things that he's been able to do. When I did have a brief chance to talk with him at the convention in 2015.
Off the crossbar.
Oh, it's coming our way.
Goes right out of bounds. That's a hard shot on the outside by Paget. We've seen that a few times tonight from him. So the man up, the ball is going to go over to Prep.
It'll be right
should
up
be
here
full
close.
strength coming up very soon.
But when I was talking with Paul Rabel just quickly, he's one that's really using technology to reach all the kids and to expand the sport.
So we're back to full strength. Prep with it and almost did. He said he went out of bounds.
Call the timeout.
Prep calls timeout.
There you go.
We'll take a break ourselves. Great game here at Marywood. Scranton Prep leads by 1, 8-7.
High school lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association.
We are back at Marywood University. 8-7 the score, 15 goals in all between these two teams that met in last year's district final. Anthony Ostigo went off before number 10. Looked like a cramp, so he came in. And of course, the depth of Scranton Prep, not the perception, coming into play because, not able to get a drink at all.
And yes, that does play against Prep, and we had mentioned it earlier. The shortened bench, it's going to work on the players. It looks like the rain is kind of stopped here for now. So
front's moving through. I've become a meteorologist over the last 2 weeks or so, trying to figure out if it's going to rain or not rain. And boy, glad we can have a great lacrosse day here at Marywood University. I want to thank the athletic department, Mary Jo Gunning, and some of the other personnel at Marywood for allowing Scranton Prep to come and play here tonight, putting a youth clinic on. Got to televise the Susquehanna game against Marywood, which was a very good college lacrosse game. And we have a great game here as well. Still quarter left to play, Bob. I'm not wrapping it up yet. But
oh, no, yeah, and good play as well. I mean, we talked about the low-scoring game last year when these two teams met. Now we're all the way up to 8-7, and we've still got another quarter left. So
Bill Riff is here, new Abington Heights coach. We talked to Greg Copa, assistant coach at Lakeland. And it's nice to see you guys coming in. You can have a Lackawanna League pretty soon with all the schools that are playing. Coach.
Absolutely, it's great to watch this sport grow the way that it is, Bob. It's taken on legs of its own, and 5 years ago you wouldn't see what we got going on right now, and it's exploding. And I'll tell you, as we talked about earlier, the girls level is just exploding even more.
Absolutely, it is. And there's actually more teams, I think, in the Wyoming Valley Conference on the girls' side.
Absolutely.
Than the boys' side.
Absolutely.
Next year, Bob, we have to do a girls' game. We're going to hear about that. We're definitely doing a girls' game next year.
All right. I'm helping Coach.
We're all right. We already did one.
Yeah,
we know the girls' game pretty well.
We did a D1 last Wednesday.
Yeah.
We did D1 between Bucknell and Lafayette, women's game. I'm helping coach a high school women's team down in Pleasant Valley right now, and my daughter, who's in second grade, is playing on a K2 team. So I'm helping them.
5 seconds or less. Shot off the mark by Hinton. No flag. 0.5 left in this quarter. And that should about do it. Delaware Valley trailed at the half, but they tied it up, and then Prep took back the lead, and that's where we stand going into quarter number 4 here on MyTV, live, boys lacrosse. Back at Marywood University, boys high school lacrosse here on MyTV. Delaware Valley, Scranton Prep. There you see the score. Bob I, Coach Bob Vanderhayden, and the new coach at Abington Heights joining us, Bill Riff. Top side, the wind has died down, so is the rain, so we should have some Hopefully some clear skies, cross our fingers for the last quarter. Bob, boy, great high school lacrosse game here tonight.
Yes, it is, and very high score. Well, higher scoring than the last time that they played together. So this is good to see as we go into the fourth quarter here. Both teams really want this. You can see by how aggressive they're playing on either end of the field. So turning out to be a great day for lacrosse.
Yeah, it did. And now these two teams in the same division, Division 1 of Wyoming Valley Conference, they'll meet twice this year. They met twice last year, but once in the regular season and then for the district final. So these two teams playing their first conference game against each other. I don't know who made that schedule, but good for us. And they'll meet up at Delaware Valley later on. But high quality lacrosse being played on the girls and boys side now in the Wyoming Valley Conference. And hopefully maybe they'll translate into some state wins the next couple of years, because now they split the divisions. Now there's a AA and AAA this year. And Bob, you and I talked about that last year. We had Crestwood, how that was going to happen. Well, it's happened. Delaware Valley, one of the bigger schools. They'll be AAA. Prep will be a AA team.
Well, and that's going to happen as the sport keeps growing and keeps growing and keeps growing, and that's just a good thing. As you mentioned, I'm involved with the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association down in the Philadelphia area, obviously, and,
which represents this area.
Yes.
We don't want to preface that.
Yeah.
Tie game.
There it is.
Finding the back of the net, we talked about him already. Josh Picarso, the freshman, adds a goal, his second goal of the year.
We'll take another look at that shot here. Nice feed, just lines up that shot just inside the pipe on the off-stick side. Not an easy shot to make. Yeah, right past the goalie's head there.
He didn't waste any time too, either getting it out of the cross.
No, and that's what the Delaware Valley coach was talking about in our keys to the game was shot location. So that right there was in the exact right location. Let's see.
That one went right to Kyle Riener.
That was a tongue twister.
That was. Delaware Valley will retain possession. They'll bring out the personnel they need.
Now, as I started to say before, the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association is the local chapter of U.S. Lacrosse, and we cover from Philadelphia all the way up through the Lehigh Valley, Pocono Mountains, up here into the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area. And in working together with them, they're trying to facilitate as much growth in the area as possible. So I know there's a lot of people down there. There's a rich history in Philadelphia, 30-plus years of lacrosse programs. And I believe that the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association may even, been around a little bit longer than U.S. Lacrosse even. And there's a lot of people down there that are really interested in helping to grow the sport. And I know in speaking with some of the women coaches that I'm involved with down in that area, they'll come up and they run camps and clinics for the other coaches up here. So if your coach at Abington, has any, or you yourself have any request, for the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association, I know that there are a lot of people down there love sharing knowledge, sharing information, tips, tricks, whatever it is. And
we have a flag down, Bob. Let's see what the call is. Going to go against Prep. Charles Farrell. So Farrell with a slash. It's his second time in the penalty box tonight. So an opportunity for a man up for Delaware Valley. They've scored on a couple of those tonight. And a chance to take a lead.
Yeah, when the score is this close and the play is this aggressive, you really need to play smart, and you can't put your team down. Now here at Delaware Valley, it looks like they may have. Well, they just out-hustled right there. They threw that ball away, but number one was able to hustle up there, get that ball, took a shot, and they'll maintain possession.
And this is where you think Scranton Prep's going to have tired legs because of the depth they have.
Yes.
At this point, especially on the defensive end, you have to work a lot harder, right, Coach?
I'll tell you what, defense is where you really put the time in. Offense, you slow it down, you work what you need to, but defense is where you really work all of it. To your point there just a few moments ago, what you were talking about with U.S. Lacrosse and Philly Lacrosse, I'll tell you, they offer coaching certifications. They offer clinics anywhere up and down the Northeast Seaboard that you can literally go there, learn how to be a better coach, learn certain drills that you can help teach your kids how to be better at the game, and it really does help a lot. And they've done so much for the area, for the sport.
Oh, tic-tac-toe!
What a great feed.
Once again, those tight inside passes that they've been making, that's where they're getting their success from those. So that was precision, being in the right place at the right time.
Estigo to Petnato. Petnato's second goal. Estigo, boy, he's showing his skills tonight. And it all started on the defensive end, right? Oh, that's the last goal, should say, for Delaware Valley.
Yeah. But that close, right in front of the crease.
Absolutely.
The Delaware or the Scranton Prep players have been able to get inside of the crease there and really disrupt the Delaware Valley defense. So that's where they had some success. And I'm betting that if they want to pull out a win here tonight, they're going to need to repeat that over and over again.
That was a man-down situation, too, for Prep. That's a man-down goal.
Well, and in that, they just pushed from the defensive end of the field all the way up. They were relentless all the way until the ball got in. So now they're back there, still man down. Number 30 is still in the penalty box here. Now they're released, so they're back to full strength.
They'll bring a short stick on now, trying to get some substitutions in and get some guys rested before we play the last 5 minutes of the game.
They've already got their 4 long sticks on the field. So it was a long stick player that had the penalty. So Prep put a different long stick player out on the field in his place. That way they could maintain that 4 long sticks and they had 1 short stick. That usually is your man down defenses.
Nice save by Kyle Riener, the goalie. Another opportunity on the transition for Scranton Prep. Estigo right in front. Goal, Prep 2 in a row. This time Luke Brunetti finds the net, and we have a late flag.
We've got a flag, which will probably be a push. It looked like Delaware Valley player pushed the shooter after the shot as he fell right into the crease. And once again, he just put himself right on the crease.
Absolutely.
Was in the right place at the right time.
Less than a minute later. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Less than a minute later, Prep scores.
See right there, number 16 right on the crease, and then number 43 with that push in the back.
I think when you watch this, and we call this in our when we teach our guys, one more, the unselfish list. Number 10 looks down on the crease. There he is, and that literally caused the reason why we had that score there. So great unselfish play.
You're exactly right. When I'm working with players and teaching them to just simple line drills or whatever it is, and we say the person catching the ball should say, "Here's your help. Here's your help." When I work with my 2 little kids in the backyard, I'm always yelling to them, just say one more, one more, one more.
Correct.
If they get in the habit of doing that while they're playing around in the yard or park or wherever, when they need to do it in a game, they'll do it. So,
not only are you saying it,
yes,
but you want them to do it.
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
You're teaching 2 things at the same time.
Yes.
Mackey, another face-off win. He's one of the best in the conference. 61% wins a year ago, and a possession now for Delaware Valley. Down 2 goals again. They were down 3 at one point to this team. They battled back. 8 minutes to go in the game. Riener, I think it was off his stick.
It may have been just a little outside there.
Yeah, a little outside there.
Coach, you had mentioned the resources from U.S. Lacrosse. There's another one that's relatively new, or it's just been overhauled just recently, called Mobile Coach, which is an app that's available for members of U.S. Lacrosse. And inside of there are practice plans and drills and videos and just a wealth of knowledge for just about any person looking to help coach this game. So they overhauled that. I think it was about a year ago, and so if you haven't been onto it recently, take another look at it again. There's a lot of information in there.
It's a great resource for new and up-and-coming coaches.
Very good resource, yes. Oh,
low
nice
shot,
save.
Riener saved, somehow found it.
I think he saved that one with his gut.
I think he did. I think he did. Bottom part of his body, let's just put it that way.
He made the save, and
big
now
ride.
Now he's under pressure, so.
Oh.
And there's number 30 back out on the field.
Told you, defensive tackle.
Yep.
Big hit put on, and he throws it away.
That whole Mobile Coach, when they overhauled it, it actually goes along with their lacrosse athlete development model that U.S. Lacrosse has.
Yep.
And there's a lot of color coding, and so it makes it very, very easy for new coaches to plan out their team's practices. You just kind of look up what age group, what gender, and what you want to work on that day. Pick a couple colors, put them together, pull it up on your tablet or your phone, and you're good to go.
Boy, they're letting them play out
yeah,
here,
they
aren't
are.
they?
Yeah, I was just going to say, they are the officials. We've got 2 of them out on the field here. They're really letting these guys play.
Well, across the way, they want to push. They get it. No penalty, though. Again, number 1, Picarso, the freshman, he's just 5'6". You know, they have a couple big guys on defense for Prep, and they're definitely trying to manhandle. Be physical with them, and be really physical the whole game. Prep is.
Well, both of these teams, yeah, have been physical. I would say that the Prep defense has definitely been playing very physical game.
Hard shot to the outside.
And I think that goes to your app and to the coaching clinics that we do. When you watch the defense, both Del Val and Scranton Prep, watch the breakdown that they're doing, the force. They're trying to dictate where they want the offensive player to go. They're just working really, really hard on defense. And I'll tell you, parts of those learnings and things that you get.
Oh, that's a quick shot.
How about it?
Yeah.
Real quick. Hudson. I have him down for his 4th goal of the night.
He may have used one of the Prep players as a screen there. It'd be kind of hard to see from up here, but let me take another look. He may have just made a last move there, and number 30 could have possibly been in his way to force a little bit of a screen. Again, that goes for Delaware Valley's shot location.
So Hudson, 4 goals on the night. Back to a 1-goal game.
This is some great lacrosse.
Yeah.
Back and forth, back and forth.
And that's the thing about lacrosse. It's very action-oriented.
Yes.
You know, a lot of movement, and you see games where a team could be trailing by 3 goals with 2 minutes left, and suddenly it's tied. They go to overtime. It's an exciting brand, an exciting sport to watch.
And I think that also is a component of why it's growing so fast across the country. Because, you know, nowadays in today's society and kids, they want everything now, right now. I even find myself looking at my iPod to see how much time is left in the song. but you know, they want it all now. And lacrosse is one of those fast-moving sports. It's I believe it's called the fastest sport on 2 feet. Am I right?
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
The interesting point, it's always moving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we talk about it in all of our youth programs that we have, and even as I coach for my team, what really is interesting is we talk about if you're standing still for more than 3 seconds, you're really not playing lacrosse.
Yep.
So it's a very active game, whatever side of the field that you're playing on, and it forces you to be active on either side of the ball.
If you've ever taken your lacrosse stick to the beach and you've had a catch on the beach and you put your feet in the sand and the sand's all hot so you don't want to move your feet, that's just it. If I'm coaching players and I see them just standing there, I accuse them of playing beach lacrosse, just standing, avoiding the hot sand. So yeah, you've got to keep moving. You got to keep moving.
And you have to be in shape.
And you got to be in
That's why
shape.
you do.
Yes.
Run a lot. Pageant, another shot, and
A
big
nice
save by Arena.
Big save.
Now a big
And then you
clear
see-
coming from Prep.
Yeah,
Up 1. Del Val needs the ball back.
And they are hustling. Delaware Valley's hustling to get the ball there.
Estigo gets hit from behind. It's picked up, and now Prep brings on their offensive personnel. Now they can give the defense a rest. Now Del Val needs to get the ball back if they want to get him back into this one. Less than 4.5 to play in the game.
Now, Coach, you saw in that last one, as soon as the Prep player came up with that ground ball, immediately he got it to one of his teammates. That's a smart ground ball play.
Absolutely. You're allowed, you know, so when you're going into this position, you make sure you get a touch into the box. Now the timer's there. Now you can switch, get the right players, get the right personnel on to do what you need, and really forces your team to get in the right spot.
Great pass, Fisher to Estigo. Jump shot, no good, and it will go over to the Warriors.
Again, there were some close, quick passes right in by the crease. Unfortunately, Prep did not have someone back at X right there to maintain the possession.
Bill Riff, the Abington Heights coach, joining Bob and I. They play tomorrow against Delaware Valley. Do the Comets. First game ever. He's excited. He's
First
pumped.
time.
Yep. And I'm sure it'll be a lot of butterflies, and the kids will be in the wrong places, of course. But
That happens.
and it's a tough game to start with. But hey,
is.
you're still playing. That's all that matters.
I'll tell you what, and I look at assistant coach Copa as well, and for us both in the same boat, trying to start our programs in an exhibition way and moving forward. And I'll tell you, my kids are extremely excited. We've been at practice just really waiting for this to happen for so many years, and it's exciting. So I know he's just excited as we are, and I'm looking for a great game tomorrow, but I'm looking for a great season for Abington and lacrosse in this area just keep growing.
Here's Delaware Valley, champs last year in District 2. I just realized these two teams cannot play in the district final. We're tied up. Riley Van Wee, the senior, 4th goal of the season, his 1st goal of the night.
This is great lacrosse, back and forth, like we said. Nobody's going to know the outcome until the very end. Take a look at this shot, just penetrating from X, he just kind of snuck in there.
He's a big kid himself, brings it in and not afraid to bring it inside the big guys. Now, one thing I know is for Prep, they put a long stick now against Mackey, trying to maybe take away some of the face-off wins.
Yeah, typically a coach will wind up doing that, assuming that he's going to lose that first little quick movement that happens right at the whistle. However, right after that, with that long stick, that player would then have a little longer reach. So if the ball, kicks out one way or the other, that long stick, midi, LSM, can grab the ball.
Delaware Valley takes a timeout. 2:46 left in the game. It's going to be an exciting finish. We're tied at 10.
High school lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association.
Back at Marywood University, we're tied at 10. Prep and Delaware Valley. A rematch of last year's district final. I was going to say these two teams cannot make it the district final because DV's AAA and now Prep is AA. So just 2 meetings for these two teams this year, and it's an exciting start to the season here on MyTV. So DV calls a timeout. They want to set up some offense. They have the ball. They want to get this score back in. They have 2 in a row now. They trailed 10-8. They really haven't. They have not led all game.
I mentioned it before. It seemed like Delaware Valley was taking a lot more shots from the outside, a little more time and room type of shots. And then walking out onto the field, they've got it kind of spread out there. So what they may be looking to do is pull. Yeah, they're pulling the Scranton Prep defense out of position, see if they can beat a one-on-one.
And they do.
And that's exactly what. Yeah. Coach just wrote that right up and said, okay, let's get a wide open shot here and try and beat them one-on-one.
That's the freshman, 2nd goal of the night, I believe. And for the first time this evening, Prep is trailing by 1.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at this isolation and
speed attack against a defensive long pole.
Yes, against that. Yeah, the defensive long pole, and unfortunately that close defense, long pole defense there, went for that over the head wrap around and try. Which, if you've got a strong offensive player that's just going, he's going to kind of push through that.
To what you were talking about earlier, watching the long pole in the face.
Yes.
When a coach decides to do that, really what you're looking for is you're going to lose the face, but you're trying to get a 50-50 battle.
Yeah.
And that's what you're really looking for, which is what you're saying. Sometimes when you know you're not going to win that face, it's a great way to try to offset that momentum a little bit.
Yeah, you might lose it right at the X, but you want to come up with that ground ball.
Correct.
Now there, unfortunately, there was another one of those over the head type of checks, and he came down too hard. Stick got in the way of Delaware Valley player's foot, ended up with a trip.
Here, let's look at the foul again. That's the freshman Tucker Johnson.
Yeah, you'll see it came. He came right over the top of his head with that type of a check.
The DVs had opportunities and man up, and they've converted. And now they can hold a little bit of clock and also maybe take a 2-goal lead.
And you see that they're also using all that space there. They've opened this wide up because they know that Prep has, with the man down situation, they've got some time. Looks like the official is
save Reeder, and we have 2 flags.
2 flags
against the same. So it was 2-man up. No, the 130's done.
1 minute slack. White 5. 1 minute slack. You'll serve 2 minutes. They are releasing.
So 2 slashes on the same person.
The same player.
Earhart. So he's a 2-minute man up.
That's the end of the game.
Yeah.
But it is, I think he did say it was releasable, right?
It is.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said it was releasable. So if Delaware Valley scores here, then he'll be able to go back out on the field. But yeah, minute 44 left, 2 minutes of penalty. Delaware Valley can kind of delay this. They kind of, just kind of.
Gonna serve 2 minutes.
We're just getting a.
So what does
getting a
this do
picture.
now? If you're Delaware Valley, you can just hold it to the end?
Well,
There's no shot clock, right?
I thought I saw the
Yeah, I
official
thought
already
I
put
saw
the
the-
shot. He
yeah.
put the shot clock on already.
Oh, okay.
I thought the official did over on the far side there. We'll have to see if they call it again. Yeah, they've got that on there. So they do need to push, but still, they're man up for a little while here. So they could run out that whole clock.
30-second shot clock. So turnover. Prep has the ball, but they're down a man.
And they're way in the back of their field there. Oh,
Turnover. Mackey. Shot scored. Delaware Valley. 2-goal lead.
wow, and it comes down. Okay. So now it looks like the penalty has been released. We've got about a minute 13 left. Prep has got to bring it right here. Here comes this shot that was just a failed clear, and then a couple of swings with some checks that missed, and a bounce shot. Wow, he got that bounce shot just at the right spot. That came in bounced right up underneath the top of the crossbar there. So that was some pretty good shooting there. Again, the long stick is still out on that face-off. So let's see if that works out for Scranton.
Wondering how much the depth has played a role, how Delaware Valley has just used their depth to their advantage, maybe get Prep a little tired on the defensive side.
There you go.
Cavalier ball, down 2 now, 1:03 to play in the game.
Well, they've got to get the ball up under possession. They're looking to get specific players. Oh,
And a turnover in their own zone.
and the ball's out. Come down to the end of this kind of game. Each team is pushing. And I'm going to kind of assume that all the timeouts have been taken. And the officials calling, let them know to keep it in. What it means there is keep it inside the box.
Well, a lot of people to thank. Marywood University, thanks Scranton Prep for moving this home game over. Flag it down. Thank our crew doing a great job on a long day, and the rain starts to pick up again. I want to thank Philadelphia Lacrosse Association and Bob for joining us over the last week or so.
A lot of lacrosse. It's been a lot of fun.
Coach Riff joining us, Coach Copa, Greg Fisher. A minute is the penalty for Prep, and that should just about do it.
That'll do it.
And Prep had a 3-goal lead in this game, and a 2-goal lead into the fourth quarter, and just couldn't hold it. Delaware Valley has battled back, and they'll improve to 2-0 on the season.
And they're just going to run it out in the last 15 seconds here.
It goes out. Clock will stop momentarily with 5 seconds left. Coach Riff, thanks. Good luck this season.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Appreciate
I really
it.
appreciate you inviting me up here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck. Good
Yes.
luck. Let us know how it goes.
I guarantee you I will.
There you go.
Zeros wind down, and Delaware Valley beats Scranton Prep in a very exciting, entertaining game. 12-10, the final score. Rain comes down, and when we come back, we'll talk to the winning coach and a couple players of the game as Delaware Valley beats Prep 12-10.
High School Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association.
Welcome back to Marywood University. Delaware Valley in an exciting game. Bob pulls this one out 12-10, and it went back and forth game. Great lacrosse here in high school action.
Yes, great lacrosse all day. Brutal weather, but great lacrosse. And to see two teams battle it out all the way to the end there, to keep working. And I mean, the score went back and forth. It was tied there a couple of times. It makes it exciting. That's great lacrosse to watch right there.
Anything stick out from you for this game?
Just the way that the players just kept going. They just kept going. I did like how Scranton was capitalizing on the fact that they can make a lot of nice in close, tight passes and feeds right around the crease. That worked out great for them. Their defense was also very physical. That may have gone against them a little bit, but you know, they played their game their way. Delaware Valley, they just kept putting it together. I saw a lot of run, a lot of hustle from that team right there.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up as the rain starts again here in Marywood. A great day of lacrosse, college level, youth level, and high school level.
Yes, it was a great day, other than the weather.
Absolutely. For the entire Fox 56 sports crew who's doing an outstanding job as the rain picks up. This is Bob Ide saying so long for Coach Van. We'll see you next time here on MyTV WQMY.
High School Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association.